Hi guys. So today we have another little audience participation video. We are, entering election season. It's important to be aware of the power of your personal opinions and the weight that your decisions hold. I am here merely as a voice for the people as we elect the best Rainbow High doll. I think these videos are just a lot of fun. I love them because I get to be opinionated with none of the pressure. If people disagree with the contents of this video, they can't even argue with me because it's not my fault. You'll have to take it up with the people. If you're new here or if you missed my announcements, I sent out forms here and on Twitter to my subscribers and my followers, and I asked simply, what, in your opinion, is the best Rainbow High doll? I let the responders list up to 3 individual dolls too, just because I know picking only one would be a pretty monumental undertaking. I also decided to format this video with individual dolls as opposed to entire lines like I did with the past videos, just because I don't know. I always tend to think of Rainbow High in terms of individual dolls, I guess, way more than I do with their lines. It also just makes it easier to quantify considering how many single releases there have been. It just seemed like the most sensible format to me. Oh, and this does include spin-offs like Shadow High and Pacific Coast High. I specified that in the form. I personally don't even really view them as entirely separate from Rainbow High anyhow. Spin-offs like Junior High and The Littles, though, I did say were not included in this, but let's be honest, who was going to choose one of them? Also, the turnout for this one was, I think, the largest I've ever gotten for one of these types of videos. I got 850 individual responses, which is already, wow, a lot. But factoring in answers that listed 2 or 3 dolls, that actually makes 2,260 responses in total, which I think is a very decent sample size. And of those 2,260 responses, Lyric Lucas got voted for exactly 0 times, which I personally thought was very funny. But who did get voted in? Let's get into it. Here are the top 15 Rainbow High dolls as voted on by you guys. Starting off at number 15 is Minnie Chue, who received 31 votes, which was 1.3% of the total responses. I will say, for the most part, this might not be a very surprising list. There were a few that I expected to be on here that weren't, but for the ones we ended up with, I guess I'll just say that it feels correct. And Minnie being here, being present, yes, absolutely. Royal 3, the K-pop dolls are still just like peak Rainbow High to me. I remember seeing them for the first time and knowing immediately that I needed all 3. Minnie is probably, admittedly, my least favorite of the 3, but that doesn't make her a bad doll at all. She absolutely deserves to be here. Her face mold, her hairstyle, that specific shade of pink she represents, gorgeous. She only loses points for me because of her second outfit, and I know the reference, I know what it's supposed to be, but it just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't hold a candle to how cute her first outfit is, in my opinion. Especially those boots. Oh, I love her boots. Speaking of, by the way, number 14, Tiara's Song, who got just a few more votes than Minnie, coming in at 36, which was 1.6% of the total responses. So, maybe a spoiler, but Tessa Park, unfortunately, did not make the cut, which was one of the ones that surprised me, because she's my favorite of the 3. I am happy to see the other 2, though. I love Tiara, just an absolutely gorgeous doll. 2 incredible outfits, thigh-high fabric boots, literally what is not to love. I think for me, in the list, Tiara would be probably a little higher up, and then Tessa would be right above her, but As I said, I'm just a conduit for the people. And so far, the people, well, I think they have pretty good taste. Number 13, Heather Grayson, who was just barely above of Tiara with 39 votes, giving her 1.7% of the total responses. Heather is a doll that's like, okay, so she's not one of my personal favorites, but I do still absolutely see why she's so well liked. She just doesn't appeal to me specifically, and that's perfectly fine. Because I think the vibe she has, the aesthetic she's going for, she pulled it off really well. And just thinking back to, like, what a moment it was when Shadow High Series 1 first dropped, and we were all gagged just from the existence of it. I do remember Heather really standing out in that group, so she's very memorable too. And there's definitely things I still like about her. I mean, obviously, I don't think she's a bad doll, and I'm not surprised to see her here, but to give specifics, I've always really liked her makeup with the white liner on her waterline. I actually wish they would have used that effect on more dolls, and I also love when fashion dolls aren't afraid to do, like, a full-on bustier top, which she has in her second look. That whole look with the snakeskin pants, too, I think is very iconic. Especially because I think it really represents what we all thought was the original vision for Shadow High, which was an edgier, more alternative take on Rainbow High's very streetwear, runway aesthetic. Which, of course, really did not end up being the case, but Heather still definitely stands out for that reason, and she deserves her spot here on the list. Number 12. So we had a 5-way tie for this one, and rather than let them all take up 5 separate spots, I decided to just let them all have number 12. I realize that sort of makes a list of a top 15 kind of moot, but it's fine. My old statistics professor isn't watching this. Probably. Anyways, these 5 are Sabrina St. Cloud, Demi Batista, Carla Choupette, Leela Yamamoto, and Mina Floor, who all got 40 votes each, so 1.76% of the total responses. So for me, I love that I say I'm not responsible for this video, and yet every time here I am saying, but in my opinion, if this was my list, Sabrina and Leela are 2 of my favorite dolls. Sabrina is probably like top 5 for me, actually, top 3 maybe. I love, love, love her doll. She reminds me so much of, like, I don't know if this is a deep cut or not, but how they styled Emma Roberts in the first season of Scream Queens. That's what she gives to me, and I love it. Demi, Carla, and Mina are all incredible dolls too. Demi's boots. Oh my god, it's all about the boots in this video, I guess. Mina, gorgeous, beautiful, lovely. Carla, you know what I'm gonna say. I know some people have their misgivings because she's so heavily based on Karl Lagerfeld, who, by every account, was just a total trash can of a human being, but I know that Karl would hate that this doll exists, and that actually makes me love her more. Also, I mean, thigh-high boots, y'all. Number 11, just shy of the top 10, Monique Verb, who received 48 votes and 2.1% of the total responses. Love this doll. She's always really stood out to me because, so a lot of Rainbow High dolls have a very specific silhouette because there's a specific style of fashion that they're trying to emulate. So we get a lot of tight, form-fitting dresses, mini skirts, fur coats, that sort of thing. All great, don't get me wrong, we still get a lot of great looks from that, but Monique definitely gave us something different. Not only in the dress department, but the hair, too. There still aren't a lot of Rainbow High dolls with protective hairstyles, but her braids are gorgeous. The colors they chose with the bright blue mixed in with the purple, it looks so good, so good. Plus her earrings and the necklace, the gloves, her makeup with, again, that exaggerated waterline. Just overall, such a gorgeous and a really cleverly designed doll. Because it's not a very complex outfit. It doesn't have a lot of separate pieces, but it still stands out as one of the best looks that Rainbow High has ever given us. Number 10, Costume Ball Bella Parker, who received 57 votes and 2.5% of the total responses. Yes, absolutely. Now, you know me, I'm gonna eat up a pink doll probably every time, no matter what. I recognize my bias, but I do think she is legitimately one of the most beautiful Rainbow High dolls. Again, maybe because it's just sort of a different look than what we're used to getting from Rainbow High. It's a lot flouncier, I guess, than what they usually give us, and I mean, that's perfect for me specifically. To me, she has the vibes of like an early or mid-2000s Halloween Barbie, especially since there's like literally 10,000 witch-themed Halloween Barbies. And I mean this as a compliment, obviously. I like Halloween Barbies. Remember Halloween Barbies? I miss them. Number 9, Zoe Electra, who received 63 votes and 2.7% of the total responses. Ah, yes. Where would we be without our weird little alien girl? I love Zoe. Especially in real life, like in person, she has such a beautiful, pleasing shade of mint. Just so fun to, like, stare at. And of course, we love her for the Novi Stars reference. I like that it was a really, really fun design decision. I also think her astronaut jacket is one of the most technically impressive clothing pieces we've ever gotten from Rainbow High. The detail and the construction and the craftsmanship, immaculate. Number 8, Georgia Bloom, who received 68 votes and 3% of the total responses. Oh, Georgia. My girl, my bestie, my ride or die. She might be another top 3 for me. Definitely top 5, for sure. I'm trying to phrase this in a way that doesn't come off, like, too mean. Because I really, really don't mean it in, like, an insulting way, but sometimes I look at Georgia and I'm just surprised that she's as good as she is given when she came out, which was Series 3. And please don't take that the wrong way. Series 3 is not bad, but it's definitely still around the time that Rainbow High was finding its footing, and it shows. Like, the growth in the brand from Series 3 to Series 4 is incredible. I honestly think Georgia holds up to a lot of the dolls that came out later. She's just that good. And to be honest, even at this point, I was really tired of all the real-life fashion brand references in Rainbow High. I just really did not find them to be incredibly interesting, personally. But I did think Georgia referencing the Dior, the girly collection from the early 2000s was... okay, I was into it. They won that round. Number 7, Veronica Storm, who received 77 votes and 3.4% of the total responses. This one I had to do a little more math than usual because some people said both of the Storm twins, and some people said only Veronica. But adding up the responses, Veronica still got way more than her sister did. Even accounting for the responses that said both twins, Naomi did not get enough votes to make the list. Just kind of interesting when you think about it. It also confused me at first too, because to this day, I still think Naomi is more of a Veronica and Veronica is more of a Naomi. Like, I don't know why they're backwards in my head, but I think they always will be. Anyways, all that said, I definitely support Veronica being here. For one, I'm a sucker for twin tails. 2, I think the blend of colors in her hair is so gorgeous, and also just, I don't know if this is a weird way to describe it, but satisfying. And I love her outfit so much. I think way more than her sister, more than the Devious twins. She gives what she needs to give, which is rich, spoiled, mean girl. So in that sense, her design just has a ton of personality. Also, I know a lot of people don't like the bubblegum thing, but I do. I think it's so fun, and it's not something I would want to see, like, often, but it was only ever used for her, so. Number 6, Slumber Party Robin Sterling, who received 94 votes and 4.1% of the total responses. A pretty big jump from number 7 to number 6, too, which is interesting. Robin is, like, literally everything that I want from a pajama-themed doll. and I'm so glad everyone else seems to agree. She's just so glamorous. The old Hollywood aesthetic, the Breakfast at Tiffany's references, because Tiffany blue, get it? But there's so much about her that's just so clever and well designed. I do remember her doll being one of the first indications to me that, like, oh, Rainbow High is really leveling up in a lot of ways. They're just getting better and better, more fun, more creative. She just needs some thigh-high boots to sleep in. Kidding. Although, now that I think about it. Number 5, Sunny Madison from the Twins 2-pack, who got 104 votes and 4.6% of the total responses. Another one where one twin was the clear favorite because poor Luna did not make the cut. I understand though, I mean that Luna is cute, but Sunny is just a whole other level. I remember ever since Series 1 came out and we got our very, very first Sunny Madison doll, I was asking MGA to please incorporate her personality more into her outfits. She's a teenage art school student and anime fan. She doesn't need to be wearing Dior and Gucci. Have some fun with her fashion style. And finally, with this doll, they delivered pretty much exactly what I wanted. Maybe they still could have taken it a little further, but I'm so happy with what we got. I think she is so cute, so adorable, really everything that Sunny should be. Especially her bag. The little bear bag, that's such a cute accessory. The heeled Crocs, too. Oh my god. The perfect amount of camp. She is for sure a top 5 doll. Good job, everyone. Number 4, Chanel Onyx, who received 107 votes and 4.7% of the total responses. You all really came through with the excellent taste. Chanel was my personal favorite from Shadow High Series 1. She is just so striking. I think that would be the right word to use. And it's a similar case to Monique in that her outfit, her first one at least, it's not very complex. It's a pretty simple design, but it accomplishes 2 very important things. 1, it sets her apart, and 2, it makes her look very elegant, very glamorous, sophisticated. So again, there's a lot of personality and character on display here. And I actually prefer this dress to her second outfit. But it's also just a silhouette I personally really like with the fitted bodice and the poofy skirt. Number 3, we're in the top 3 now. Victoria Whitman, who received 120 votes and 5.3% of the total responses. I think she's the only doll from Series 5 to make this list, right? Which was another surprise for me. I thought for sure Michelle would have made it in, but I'm glad Victoria is at least because, wow, what a stunning doll. Again, I just think it's so interesting how some of the best dolls and the strongest designs are the ones with arguably the simplest outfits. It really does go to show just because the design is complex, that doesn't always necessarily translate to better or more creative. That's a good life lesson, I think. But I really love Victoria. Everything about her freckles, her hairstyle, her makeup. I love that she stands out for having a style that is more soft, more delicate, rather than, fierce. She's so precious, so beautiful. There might be a few dolls that I personally would have put above her, but she definitely deserves to be here. Number 2, our runner-up, Delilah Fields, who received 174 votes and 7.6% of the total responses. I expected to see Delilah here for sure, but I'll admit I was surprised to see her so high up. But again, I think she definitely deserves it. She's absolutely beautiful, and it's another pretty similar case to Victoria, right? She stands out for being a little different. I guess that's why she made just such a big impression on a lot of people, but well-deserved. I'm gonna repeat myself a little, but I adore how soft she is. Really wonderful color choices, and her screening. Oh, it's probably the cutest in the entire franchise. Her glasses, the flowers in her hair. She's just a spectacular doll. So adorable. And now it's time to crown our winner. the queen of Rainbow High, America's next fashion doll superstar, is Lily Chang, with 206 votes and 9.1% of the total responses. Okay, show of hands, is anyone surprised? Like, at all? I'm certainly not. I knew from the moment I started making this video that she would be number one. There was a correct answer here. Still, though, it's kind of crazy with how many Rainbow High dolls there are that have been released, for her to get almost a full 1/10 of the responses. But I mean, obviously, right? Just look at the material. She is fashion doll excellence, gorgeous, memorable, iconic, everything that the number one Rainbow High doll deserves to be. One of the best dolls I have in my entire collection, not just in my Rainbow High collection, but my collection as a whole. I love her. I love her so much. You love her so much, obviously. Absolutely deserves to be number one. Absolutely. You did good, everyone. And that's the list. The top 15-ish Rainbow High dolls, as decided on by you guys. So let me know now, did any of your favorites make the list? How high up were they? Were any of your favorites cut? Were there dolls you were surprised to see here? Were there ones you were surprised that you didn't see? Let me know. Tell me all about it. Whatever's on your mind, let it out down there in the comments. And a big thank you to everyone who took the time to submit their answers. Obviously, this video would not even be possible without you. And please stick around, because next week we're doing the worst Rainbow High dolls. I'm done being nice. Time to be evil. So look forward to that, and also be sure to like and subscribe for any future fashion doll content. Thank you.